Transportation in humans. The letters get transported to their destination through various means like trains and planes or by roadways. But have you ever thought, how does transportation take place inside our body? Let's study about the transportation in animals and plants. We'll start with the humans. You will be surprised to know that the transportation in our body occurs through blood. It is a component of the circulatory system. This system also comprises of the blood vessels and one of the most important organ of the human body, the heart. Functions of blood. The blood is a liquid that flows through the body. All the nutrients that we obtain from the digested food are transported by the blood to the tissues. Even oxygen is transported through the blood to the heart, which further transfers it to the rest of the body. The waste material that needs to be removed out of the body is also transported through blood. Components of blood. Blood is a fluid that contains blood cells and plasma. Plasma is the fluid part, while the cells are embedded in it. There are 3 types of blood cells. These are red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Let us discuss about each type. Red blood cells. Red blood cells appear red due to the presence of a red color pigment called hemoglobin. It is the oxygen carrier. Oxygen enters in the body as a gas, reaches the lungs and then gets dissolved in plasma, which is then taken up by red blood cells. Then it binds to the hemoglobin in the red blood cells, which is then transported to all parts of the body. White blood cells. Their function is to protect the body from germs. When we get injured or get cuts in our body, the germs enter in our body. The white blood cells are the soldiers of the body which fight against any invading microorganisms like bacteria and protozoa. Excretion in humans. All the food we eat is not used by the body. Some of it after digestion is not required, thus needs to be removed out of the body since these may be toxic to the body. The process of getting rid of waste produced in the cells of the living organisms is called excretion. The parts of the body involved in the excretion forms the excretory system. Human excretory system. Now let us see how excretion occurs in humans. The kidneys are the filters that filter the blood to remove the harmful substances in it. This is a structure of a kidney. The useful components are then reabsorbed. The wastes dissolved in water are removed as urine. The urine goes into the urinary bladder from the kidney through tube-like ureter. It is stored in the bladder and is passed out through the urinary opening at the end of a muscular tube called urethra. Transport of substances in plants. We know that water is required by the plants to synthesize their food. But how do they get water and nutrients? Yes, you are right. The plants obtain water and nutrients from the soil through the roots. There are root hair present in the plants which increase the surface area for the absorption of water and nutrients. This is a cross-section of roots showing the root cells. In plants, the transport takes place through special tissues called the vascular tissue. Xylem and phloem are the vascular tissues of plants. Now let us become familiar with xylem and phloem. Xylem has pipe-like vessels that transport water and nutrients from the soil. The xylem forms a continuous network of channels that connects roots to the leaves through the stem and branches, thus transports water to the entire plant. The glucose prepared by the leaves needs to be transported to all the parts of the plant. This is done by another kind of vascular tissue called the phloem. Transpiration. To understand the concept of transpiration, let us do a simple experiment. Take two potted plants. The two plants need to be approximately of same size and preferably the same kind of plant. Put plastic bags on the branches of both the plants and seal the bags tightly using the elastic bands. Place one plant in a cool and dark place and the other in sunlight. Leave for 1 hour. Can you guess what will happen to the leaves? The plant that was kept in the sun will have a fair amount of moisture inside the bag, and the leaves will become wilted and dry, whereas the plant that was left in the dark will have hardly any or possibly no moisture in the bag, and the leaves will be still fresh. Why does this happen? Because the water gets evaporated out of the plant via the leaves. It is called transpiration. Plants release a lot of water into the air through this process.